In today's episode of Billionaire's Beginnings, we are spending $10 million on the most recent update, the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. I'm currently feeling a bit under the weather, so I'm sorry for my voice, but the first part of this video is going to be how we made money leading up to our spending spree. Now, if you guys don't know, this series is based off of the concept that we're going to work towards making $1 billion as a solo player. So that's the goal. We're currently very close to 100 million. But the first four things that we did this week was we grinded out the Cayo Perico heist. And things were a little bit different this time because Rockstar patched the Cayo Perico heist in the most recent update. They changed a few things. First, the biggest thing, guards can now spot dead bodies, and that's going to alert the island and it's going to blow your cover. That's the main one. They could also spot things like cameras being shot, or a camera can spot a dead body. If you are cutting a grate too close to a guard, they can now hear their hearing is heightened. So there's a few different changes that they made. Some people don't like it. I personally don't mind it. It makes the game a little bit more realistic. But because of that, we had to find new routes, and we did that pretty quickly, took care of it. I have some guides up on the channel. Actually, I'll leave them in the description down below if you're somebody who needs help with that. But we got through 4 of these heists, and it was, once again, the #1 money-making method for us this week. We made just about $5.5 million across 4 heists. Now, you can see the first 2 heists, the payouts weren't the best, but we got pretty lucky with the second 2. And the main reason for that is I changed my approach. You guys know that have been following, I usually use the Kasatka submarine, but if you use the longfin approach, you could hit the airstrip first, get your secondary loot first, and then go into the compound. So you're much more likely to have full loot bags, which will then allow you to get the elite challenge, and you're just going to have more money as a take because you have full loot bags. And that was it for the Cayo Perico heist. We also did a bunker cell mission, and I was pretty relaxed this week. I think we made about, $6, maybe $7 million, so not the craziest week. But the more interesting thing in this episode, and that happened this week, was, of course, the new update. And we thought we'd have to have a lot of money for this update, but we didn't really need that. And a few of reasons why. One of the main pieces of content are essentially play to earn, and we'll talk about that here in a couple seconds. And the other stuff is that they left a lot of the content for drip feed, but that'll be for another video. We're going to go in here. We did complete all the setup missions required for the acid lab. Now, if you guys don't know, this is the most recent business, or the newest business to be dropped in GTA 5 Online, and it is incredible. At first glance, even I thought this thing sucks, straight up. But there was a major caveat with the business, and it was that the equipment upgrade, which is something that most businesses have that allow the business to produce products faster and for more money, that wasn't unlockable until you do 10 Fooligan missions. And there's a 48-minute cooldown between each Fooligan mission. So when at the time of this business being released and all the content being released, it takes about an hour to 2 hours to complete all of the 6 first dose missions plus a setup mission to actually be able to acquire the acid lab, which I showed you before we did, which was awesome. 750 grand. Those 6 missions alone give you $500,000. So it's practically free. Each Fooligan mission currently is paying out $100,000. So like I said, the whole thing's practically free. But because of that, there was like a 12 or 14 hour lag behind when the content came out and when we could actually figure out how good these upgrades were. And so for a long time, we were all thinking this business is horrible. You would supply the bunker for $60,000 and it would give you like $74,000 worth of supplies. But we've now figured out that with the upgrade, if you supply the business essentially 2 times, but it'll take 1.6 batches of supplies, that will cost $96,000 and it will create for you about $335,000 of stock. You could do that though and sell it in a public lobby with 25 or more people, get the high demand bonus, and now your sale is going to be about $500,000. So where the business went from being pretty bad before, it is now a business where you could spend $96,000, wait 4 hours, and sell everything for 500 grand. And with that being said, if we look at the numbers simply like that, that's $100,000 every single hour, completely passive, by the way. The business is passive. It's run like an MC business. that is one of the best businesses you could actually have in the game. So we're going to be grinding that in the future, but now we're going to get into the spending spree. And the first thing that we purchased was one of the new beautiful cars that they released, the Entity MT. And I got to tell you, this thing is incredible. I went very basic, white with a bunch of carbon and black accents, but I'm telling you, this thing is one of the best driving cars I've personally found in the game for quite some time. It's quick, decently fast. There's an HSW upgrade, which obviously I don't have because I'm on PC, but mainly it's the traction. The handling on this car is ridiculous. So if you're thinking about buying it and you're worried about it, trust me, it's 100% a buy, at least in my opinion. The next car we decided to purchase was the 300R, and this is like a electric kind of vehicle. I went with an odd kind of design on it, but I will say it was nothing too, I don't know, I just wasn't too impressed with it, to be 100% honest. It gave me a lot of flashbacks, obviously, because of the design of the old Elegy, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I wasn't too impressed with it. I found the MT much more interesting. We also went on to buy the Ignis because this car by far is one of the best cars in the game, at least in my opinion. I love it. It is gorgeous. There's also the armored version of it as well, so maybe we'll get that in the future. But we went with an all matte black, white accents, beautiful looking car. Can't go wrong. This is one of the best cars in the game, at least in my opinion. The aesthetics of it, its speed, its traction, everything about it is just so good. So we made sure to pick that up, but I also made some other purchases that I sort of regret now. The first one being the Tulip. Cool looking car. We made some cool customizations, but for the price, wasn't really worth it. But of course, I wanted to buy all this stuff because it was just new content. I didn't buy everything from the DLC, but I bought quite a lot. And the final thing I did was pick up a hanger because they are now triple money in RP going forward permanently, that business. But I'm telling you right now, that was a bad purchase regardless. We just threw like, what, $3 million down the drain because all I did was one sourcing mission, and I knew right away I was never going to waste my time on that again. Just the sourcing missions are bad. The payout's actually not that bad, but it's because you have to source each crate individually. It's just a waste of time. And to wrap up the video here, my final thoughts on the DLC so far is, 1, I love the content that they dropped already. I love the new characters and everything, but I don't think they dropped enough. I think they left too much to come with the drip feed. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.